Guys, welcome and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. Let me remove my specs because of the ring light. I'm going to talk about moving out. This is actually a part 2. I have done a part 1 of moving out series, and honestly it's some months ago. I was to do a part 2 and then I don't know, I kept on forgetting, things kept on coming up na nika nilisahau tu. But one of you reminded me that I never did a part 2 and I had talked about it, and here I am
2,000 years later.
for the part 2 of the moving out series. So this moving out series has 3 parts. Part 1 I've already done, so kindly, if you have not watched that video, go back and watch and like that video so that it can also be recommended to other people. Yeah, and then after that is for the part 1. Part 2 is here, part 3 will also be here, and then that will be the end of it. Then we can debate if we are going to have a house tour or not. Guys, as we had talked about moving out, today we are going to talk about now the actual process. You've already had all the ideas, and now you've settled on moving out and you've made your decision. So this is now like the actual process of moving out. So the first thing after you have decided and made a decision that you're going to move out is to inform people around you, or people that those who are affected, who will be affected. In terms of, it all depends with the state of you moving out. So in case you live with a roommate, you need to inform your roommate that you're moving out. Also, if you live at home, you need to inform your parents, like you're going to move out at this particular time. If there are things they also need to prepare themselves, they can be able to do that. You give them some time. Also, I think it's very important to let your friends, not all friends, your close friends, know that you're moving. So yeah, guys, so now you've already told your friends. When you've already told your friends, your parents, if you're living at home, yani you've already communicated to the people involved. And yeah, so the next thing you should think about is now buying things. You need utensils, you need a place to sleep, there are those kinds of essential things. And one thing I would like to share is that the most important things, the first things that you should think first about, is think about food. Like, when I move out, how will I be eating? Where will I be sleeping? So with that, it means that if you're with that, it means in terms of food, you need to prepare food. So you need utensils, you need a gas, you need, for sleeping, you need a bed or you need a mattress. Sometimes when you're starting off life, you have no much pressure, because especially if you moved quick, you didn't have, you're moving out as abrupt, you didn't even have time to think about or save so much to buy some things. Well, some things like even a bed is not an essential. Tunaanza life. So you just need to get a mattress, a good mattress, and please a good one, so that you do not hurt your back, and again you end up having to inquire hospital bills. So get a good mattress where you can sleep, and at least get some few utensils and a gas where at least, or a meko, those small mekos, or a table gas, or whatever works best with you. But you just make sure you're in a position where you can prepare something to eat, because again, eating, if you ever consider eating out all the time, food is expensive. You'll not be saving any coins by doing that. So yeah, then you now go to the process, start buying things, look for offers or good places where you can find affordable things. In Kenya, you go to Kamukunji, go to, such kind of places where they have good things at fair and affordable prices. Also, take advantage of offers. And as I talk about taking advantage of offers when you're buying things, please mind quality, because sometimes unaweza nunua kitu juu iko on offer and then it'll end up being expensive because you bought it on offer, maybe it was not of good quality, alafu tena iharibike haraka, and then now you now have to, that's another budget. That's clearly another budget. So make sure you just buy some affordable quality things. Take advantage of the offers. If you're lucky enough to move around November, Black Friday watu wangu, make sure you take advantage of that. So yeah, buy essential things. You can be buying slowly before your moving time comes. You can be keeping them at home if you're still living with your parents. You can keep them at a friend's house, like that. You can just find a way somewhere to put them, so that at least when you're moving, that actual day of moving, uko na vitu za kutumia, as in you can even, the first day that you moved out, you can afford and make it to cook. Si hata hauna chakula, hauna nini, hata hauna, yeah, it's good to prepare yourself in advance. Also, there are things like shopping where you need maybe maize flour, those food stuff, dry food stuffs that you most of the time you buy from the supermarket. I'll give you a tip. Since the first day you're moving, you literally have nothing, so you're not filling up to anything, and you call zero. Look for cheaper options, like go shop at a wholesale shop. Go buy at a wholesale shop, buy things at wholesale prices. Then after that, at least you can be going to the supermarket or whatever place, or still the wholesale shop, and that will just be fill ups, for what has ended. Kaa ni chumvi imeisha, at least you unaweza enda ununue chumvi ya kurefill, because not all the shopping haitaisha yote pamoja, you get. Now you've already bought your things, and you're buying slowly by slowly. So when you have completely identified when exactly you want to move, like right now we're in the month of May. If now, let's say I'm moving out and I'm moving out next month, I should make sure, like, maybe I start my house hunting, because we are in mid-May, maybe around now, so that by the end of the month I already have a house and I can move to that house. So here is where house hunting comes in. House hunting comes in here, and let me tell you, the ghetto of house hunting, yeah. So house hunting will depend on how you want to go about it, also plus your time, because there are people who prefer using agents for house hunting, where you pay an agent and the agent goes, looks out for houses, and then you're given like a variety to choose what you like. If you also don't like, unatembea. Also, there's the other choice of, we wake up very early and we hit the road to look for houses. We knock at the gate, check if there's a vacant house, and you see it. And before you even step out of the house to go and house hunt, kindly remind yourself of the kind of house you're looking for and the budget. Also try and also get to know things you can compromise and things that you cannot compromise. The reason why I'm saying that is because, and I'm insisting you remind yourself in the morning. Sometimes there are cases where you go to house hunt, and let's say my budget was like 8,000 for a maybe bed sitter, and then I go as I walk and find a very luxurious, posh, studio apartment going for 12,000 or 10,000. And then because I'm so fascinated of how it looks, I want to stretch myself a bit to take that house. Please stick to your budget, especially on the very first time that you're moving out. You do not want to move out and start on the wrong foot of debt, or by the time it's next month you can't even afford your rent, or you even feel like you can't breathe because where is money coming from? So just stick to your budget. Later, once you've settled in, those things will come in. Also, another thing where I'm talking about compromising as you house hunt, landlords, sometimes they can do that thing. Not even sometimes. The ghetto of house hunting, sometimes you'd go and find a good house, but the kitchen counter, just there's no counter. The kitchen is just another story. Some you find the bathroom is too tiny. Some you find, I don't know, the landlord did not even grace to give you a cabinet where you can place even things. So some of these things are not a big issue because it all depends on what you can compromise or not. There are people who having a small counter space is just not a big issue because probably they even don't like cooking, or cooking is just, kitchen is by the way to them, it's only that they have to eat. There are people who having a good counter space is just the key thing about the house. Having maybe cabinets in the kitchen, or also a wardrobe where you can hang your clothes. Such, there are people who they cannot move into a house that doesn't have that. So it's good to check on what you can compromise and what you cannot compromise. Then you can go do the house hunts. Another thing you need to really consider, it's like maybe the distance from the road to your place, if you are okay with that. Also, you need to check also on transport. Is that place too far from where you work, that it will end up being like too much extra costs or transport costs? You know, you need to consider at least somewhere where it's reasonable, to your workplace, to your where your business is located. Yeah, so it's very important to do those things. So once you've identified the house, now you've house hunted, you've identified, maybe you've gone home with some ideas of like two best houses you saw, and then now you yet to decide, and now you've gone home so that you can decide, and now you've decided this is the house I've chosen. The next thing is rent and deposit. Rent and deposit, just go back, make sure you pay your rent and your deposit. And there are some landlords or agents where they extend grace, at least where they allow you to even pay the deposit in like 2 months. Yeah, 2 months installment. Like when you're moving in, you just pay the rent and half of the deposit, then the next month you do the same, like rent and half of the deposit. That is if you do not have the whole amount together. And also, in regards to houses, kindly, as you're moving out and now you found a house, kindly consider, yes, I've paid rent and deposit this month, do I have rent for next month? It is very important that very first time that you're moving, that you have the rent of that month and the rent for the next month, simply because there's a lot of financial pressure that comes when you're moving, because you bought so many things are expensive. So in most cases, you're once you settled, you're usually broke for that month. So if you do not settle on how you'll pay your rent the next month, meaning you will strain a little bit, and you cannot be moving out to suffer. Please, so plan yourself well. So guys, that is basically just it. I do not want this video to be so long. I'm hoping it's not even so long. Yes, so that I can edit it and upload for you. So guys, that is the part 2 of moving out, and I hope I have helped 1 or 2 people. And shout out, I'll not mention whoever reminded me this, but thank you so much for reminding me to do this video. Guys, kindly, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please just subscribe, please, and like every video you watch so that it can be recommended to even others. So bye bye.